The NFL season kicks off today, which means everybody is giving away free money, and Underdog Fantasy is no different. You can get up to $1,000 in free money. The only thing you need to do to unlock all of those options, unlock the bonuses, the free squares, the free money, just go to wewantpicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WWP. If you use that promo code, you will get every option you could ever imagine for some free money. wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. It'd be ridiculous to not grab that stuff now while it's here. I imagine as the football season continues forward, you're not going to get those bonuses. They have also added a couple of other promos, and we'll talk about that. You can do a 30% profit boost on your payouts. You can protect your entries. There's all sorts of cool new features that they have added, and we're going to walk through it, and we're going to build our entry. I'm going to focus on UFC, but obviously with the NFL starting tonight, there's NFL lines. There's WNBA lines as they're fighting for playoff spots. All sorts of options, college football, every sport you can imagine, you can mix and match, do all the things, get your free money. Let's go ahead and build our entry here. We have a decent entry. I do very, very well with Underdog Fantasy. And that's because Underdog Fantasy does give you a lot of options. You're not stuck with just a couple of fighters and a few very specific lines. You have a lot of options, and we're going to build out a full 5-leg entry. We're going to start with Sean Brady. Here's the reality. I think this fight goes pretty far, and I think Sean Brady is going to be all in on the wrestling and the grappling. I think he's going to get 3 takedowns. Look what he did to Kelvin Gastelum. The amount of takedowns and control and grappling that he did against Kelvin Gastelum was wildly impressive. Obviously, Gilbert Burns is a better jiu-jitsu practitioner, a better grappler than Kelvin is, but I don't think Sean Brady's afraid of that. I don't think Sean Brady's going to stand and strike the whole time because he's worried about the jiu-jitsu on the ground. He's more than capable on the ground, and I do think he does get the takedowns. We have 5 rounds to work with. We only need 3 takedowns for this line to hit, and I do think it does hit. If we continue down, I don't love anything on the Gilbert Burns side. The whole thing is juiced. Every single Gilbert Burns line is juiced except the under on a finish. But we have a couple of other unders that I do like. I don't like anything on the Jessica Andrade side, but I do like the Natalia Silva side. Same thing, higher on 14.99 fight minutes. I think it goes to a decision. Natalia Silva is not a finisher. She's very good. I think she wins this fight. She's a great point fighter. She's got good defense. She's got good offense, nice takedowns, but she's not a finisher. She's not a killer. So I do think this fight goes to a decision. So we're going to do the higher on the fight minutes for her. If we go over to Kyle Nelson, listen, he could finish Steve Garcia. That is a possibility. And that's why we're going to protect our payout here with a little bit of insurance. But I don't think that's the most likely outcome. I think the most likely outcome is Steve Garcia wins. Whether that's by finish, decision, submission, I think Steve Garcia wins. And because I think that, the lower than Kyle Nelson finishing Steve Garcia seems like the way to go for me. So we're going to go the lower on a finish for Kyle Nelson. Let's continue to work our way down. The Trevor Peak lines had me interested. I was going to go the higher on his 14.99 fight minutes because he is so durable and he is so tough. But he could potentially put out Yanal Ashmos. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think it goes to a decision. I think Yanal can win because he's the better fighter, but too many unknowns here. We're going to leave that alone, which is why, though, we're going to do the under on a finish for Yanal Ashmos. If there is a finish in this fight, it's not going to be on the Yanal side. Trevor Peak is just, you could hit that dude with a 2x4 and he's not going to care. It's going to be like Tommy Boy. He's just going to eat it and there's going to be a red mark across his forehead. So I don't see Trevor Peak getting finished here. Yanal's not like that good of a grappler that he can make something happen there. We're going to do the lower than a finish for Yanal Ashmos. And then our final entry here is going to be Andre Petroski. And we're going to do the higher than 2 takedowns. 2 is a bit of a discount. It's 2.5 over at Prize Picks. You're still going to need 3 either way. But I do think Andre Petroski is going to be all in the wrestling. He was knocked out 2 fights in a row. Finished 2 fights in a row. His last fight, all in on the wrestling. And I think it's going to be more of the same. I think he gets a bunch of takedowns on Dylan Budka. Dylan Budka is a good grappler, though. So I think Dylan can survive. He can work his way up. And then Andre's going to have to work in another takedown. Another takedown. If Dylan was useless on the ground, then Andre Petroski could potentially finish him with 1 takedown. But Dylan's a good grappler. He can create a scramble, work his way out, get taken down again. And that's why we're going with the higher on 2 takedowns. Let's go ahead and throw $10 at this. I already have this exact entry built. But we're going to go throw $10 on this for the video so I can show you what some of these promos are. If you click this little present, we have a couple of promos. You can only apply one. So if you like Travis Kelce, let's say your entry is more than $10, then you're going to need to use the gimme pick, which is Travis Kelce more than a half of a total yard. And then that's going to add another leg to your payout, and it's going to boost the payout, and you're good. It's a free square, essentially. But let's go ahead and remove that. And we'll add the 30% profit boost. What this is going to do, it's going to boost your payout. The maximum entry for this is $10. So with our $10 entry, we've boosted our payout by 30%. So you do have some options. They're doing it at checkout here, which is nice and convenient. And you can work your way through vulture protection, protect your running back. I mean, that doesn't apply to us because we're playing UFC fantasy here. But if you're doing football, there's a lot of really cool stuff here. And that's what's great about football season is it literally dictates everything else. Football is so freaking massive. They pull out the red carpet with the promos, the bonuses. They're trying to pull people in from all the sports so that they can go ahead and lose their money on football. That's basically how this is going. But let's take advantage of the promos that they're offering. But instead of losing on football, let's win it on UFC, guys. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP.